Hey y'all, it's Coach Yana and I'm answering your questions. All right, so this one we have is, how can I help my child believe in themselves? Man, this actually is my favorite one, my favorite question that I've seen so far. And you can help your child in so many ways by affirming them, okay? Now, those are what I would normally say, but this time I'm going to go a little bit different because I always talk about how you have to affirm them and help them and build positivity into them. But on the other side as well, you have to let them fall too. And hear me out. I'm not saying in a space that's like dangerous or even literally, maybe sometimes literally as well, because they have to learn. I told you stop jumping off that thing. Okay, well now you know why I said that. So, sometimes you have to let children figure it out themselves. You have to even create situations that cause them to have to figure it out. That's why I created the workbooks, for example, because children need to be mentally stimulated and challenged just like puppies. Think about it. If you leave puppies to their own devices, you don't give them anything mentally stimulating or pay them any mind. When you come back to your house, even a grown dog, your whole stuff will be turned up, toe up, feathers everywhere. Like it would be a hot mess, okay, when you return. Children are like that, but worse because they have the propensity to impact the world. One person actually can change the entire course of the planet, okay? So it's a big difference from your bad little dog that keeps pulling stuff off the couch after you told him not to. So not only do you have to do the traditional things, like I say in multiple videos all the time, podcasts, whatever, is that you have to affirm children and help them feel safe and secure. You also, in order to get the results that you want in terms of, what was the question again? Oh yeah, helping them believe in themselves. You have to put them in the situations where they are forced to believe in themselves. You have to force them out of their comfort zone so that they can grow and that they can be like, oh, okay, I can do that. Well, if I can do that, then I can do this. Well, if I can do this, then I can do that. So you have to literally create stressors in their life that are contained and help them evolve. Like, for example, an easy one would be going, if you have an older child, doing a zip line. Because for some children, that is a big feat. But once they maybe do like a foot off the ground, they'll feel more confident and maybe eventually they'll be zip lining through the trees. So really, the easiest way to help children learn to believe in themselves is to purposefully put them in situations that cause a healthy amount of stress and guide them and push them so that they can rise to the height that is set. Now, with that, because we all know that the most offended population is people on the internet just looking for a reason to be upset. So before you people start going off on a tangent, there is a line to that as well. If you have to be able to respect the child's decision, like if they don't want to do X, Y, and Z at some level, you should allow them not to. Like if they're not a sporty person, don't force them to do sports. If they're not a science person, don't necessarily force them to do science. Now, there's another nuance to that because it's like sometimes if you're doing bad, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. So there's that. It's all about the individual child, but in general, you set your child up for success if you raise the bar, but not to the point where they're not eating and they're not sleeping and, they can't function because of how horrible they feel because they didn't meet the goal, because that's going in the opposite direction. There's very, very thin lines here, and we're really like working from a healthy space. So another thing, the best way that you can help make sure your child believes in themselves is by believing in yourself and setting that example, because it's much easier for children to do something that they see versus something that they've conceptualized because of what you said. And now, is it possible to raise a child that believes in themselves when you don't believe in yourself? Absolutely. But it's easier if you believe in yourself. So most of this stuff also about raising confident children is being confident within yourself, feeling secure within yourself. And if you're working on it, like most people are, you can reach out to somebody like me. a children's confidence coach, and I have literally created an entire ecosystem for building confidence in children and helping children become leaders. And then there's those people who are like, well, not everybody's a leader. Everybody is a leader, okay? Now, is everybody authority? No. But everybody is a leader of themselves. When I'm talking about leaders, I mean, a child has to be able to lead themselves to the right decision. A child has to be able to lead themselves to discipline, period, to be successful in this life, period. A child has to be able, when they become an adult, to get out of a victim mindset and become victorious and understand that the only way that you're going to win is if you put in the effort and you work, period. There's no free handouts in this world. And the sooner that we help children realize that, the better. Another way you can help children believe in themselves is, instead of them asking you for money, earn that stuff. Oh, you want a PS5? Well, why did you earn it? Tell me why you earned this thing. Okay, and if I don't agree, well, let's negotiate. I feel like you need to do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll get you this thing. And then do it. Uphold your word. Give them your word and stick to it. If you do this to my standard, then you'll get this. But if you do this and it's not to my standard, you don't get it. Because that's how the world works. Remember, we're not raising children to be children forever. We're raising children to become adults. That is the goal. But if you raise a child to just be a child forever, how are they going to know to grow up? You have to allow children to grow. You can't save them from every single situation and then expect them to believe in themselves. So that's why I say purposefully put them in slightly stressful situations to see what they do. That could be something as simple as making sure that they have their cereal bowl in the morning and they do their own meal. Making sure that they have easy access to milk, a serving of cereal, and make sure that they are able to conduct themselves. Like finding ways to help your child realize that they're more capable than they previously thought. And that is how you incrementally build confidence even within yourself. Like this one time, I went to this thing. I thought it was for artists because it was presented at a creative event. So I came to a pitch contest dressed in an art attire with a bunch of tech people. And I got up on stage and I basically bombed it because most people laugh and giggle. These people were not giggling. They were just staring at me. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? Afterwards, I stayed and still networked with people. Why? Because it was uncomfortable being up there. I was not in my element, but I knew that this was going to be my one time to have this particular situation. I would never, just in general, I would never be that unprepared to speak in a crowd again. Number one, I would at least know where I was going. But number two, this opportunity would never happen again. And if I would have been sad and beat myself up and left, I would have felt like I lost. But in that situation, I know I won. Like, it wasn't like the cookie cutter ultimate W that I would want, but it's a W enough that I feel better than if I would have did another way. And that's comes from practice. That comes from years of me purposely putting myself in situations that make me feel slightly uncomfortable, but which I know are necessary for growth. And I learned that through teamwork. I learned that through life growing up, that you have to get a little bit uncomfortable to get to where you want to be, period. And the sooner we teach children that, the better, because once again, confidence is a spectrum, and it is absolutely a skill that children must learn in order to be leaders. And once again, leaders are able to lead themselves. If you're going to lead other people, fine, whatever, even better. But at a bare minimum, you need to be leading yourself. And children need to be aware that they are capable. They can do it. They do matter. They are important. They are unique. They are special in some way, shape, or form. And so is literally everybody else on this planet. So the thing that's going to separate you from all the other special people is the work you put in. The thing that's going to separate you from all the other special people is the confidence and the discipline. So addition to how do I make my child believe in themselves, is the real question behind that also is, how do I create a disciplined child? Because disciplined people are more easy to believe in themselves because they know that they're going to get it done regardless. How do I instill a persevering spirit into my child to where if they want something, they're going at it. They're on the attack. They're getting it. How do I raise a child that can adapt, that's flexible, that can move around, that's agile, that's disciplined? That's the real question here. Because if you can raise a child that's disciplined, that's agile, that's confident, that knows that they can get it. Like some people say, that real gutter inside, if you can get that, then your child will be fine. Even when the waves come, even when things go, your child will be fine. And how do you do that? Is by purposefully putting them in situations where they have to rise to the occasion. That's not dangerous. That's not something that's totally out of their capacity to do, but it's just high enough that they have to stretch. And then you got that? Okay, cool. Next. And we keep getting better and better and better. And like we used to say as cheerleaders, to your good is better and your better is best. And you teach children that when they have a passion or they want to do something, you might not start out good. Then you practice as good. Then you practice till you become better. And then you keep practicing until you become your best. As they say, perfecting your craft. And you have to teach children that if you can teach that to them, they will always believe in themselves because they'll trust in themselves enough to know that they can do it because they've had a track record of success. If I look back at my life, there have been some dumps in the past, some times where I'm like, what the heck happened here? But in general, I have a track record of success. So I know for a fact that anything that I really want, I can get, period, because I've done it so many other times. So you have to create in them a track record of success, a literal track record so they can think back to times when they did succeed, when they didn't think so. And you can do that by creating those situations for them. Sports teams are really helpful for that. Academic teams are really helpful for that. And reminding them when they do like start to feel, but remember when you had a problem with this? My mom used to always tell me, remember, you didn't even know how to write the number 2. You used to get it backwards. Now it's your favorite number. So reiterating to them, remember when you couldn't do this thing, but then you did? And then they'll start to play that in their mind instead of some trauma stuff. So keep that in mind, guys. I love the questions. Keep them coming. This is Coach Yana. Stay tuned for a snippet of our animated series because like I said, I literally created an entire ecosystem for your children. Okay, so the least you can do is watch the snippet. Bye of the series.
Humans are real. Oh my gosh, humans are real.
Water.
Are you listening to me?
Well, it's kind of hard to hear you because you're just yelling.
Well, I'm yelling because this is a serious issue. Humans are real.
Water, he needs you.
Did somebody call for water? Okay, everyone, let's do some deep breaths because our friend green alien guy is totally tripping. So all together, breathe in and breathe out. One more time, calm down, breathe in and out. Do you feel any better, alien dude?